Welcome back everyone, my name is LC and today we have another DC Heroes and Villains video. Today's video is mainly a discussion pertaining DC Heroes and Villains longevity in terms of its lifespan. And what I mean by that is, do we think that this game has the potential to last as long as we want it to, or do you think this game will be dead on arrival? Before we begin, as always, I want to thank all of you guys for watching and continuing to support this channel, and for those of you who are new, thank you for dropping by and checking out this channel and this video too, because this video says hello and so do I. Before getting into the first topic as well, I just want to say that I personally want to see this game do well. I am not wishing it I want it to do extremely well, and that's why I'm making this video, so it can do well. And if the devs ever somehow come across this video, first off, thank you if they do. I just hope that they take like some of my consideration into account, right? Because I'm not just speaking for me mainly. I'm speaking for everyone who I've seen like on Twitter and other social media apps like talk about how they love this game, but they want to see it do better in other elements too. But now let's get into it. Yeah! So I wanted to get into first what this game offers. It offers a really great strategic puzzle format, which I think everyone enjoys. It's your kind of Candy Crush, but just DC, right? It's like Marvel Puzzle Quest, but again, just DC, right? It offers a lot in a way that it combines your favorite DC's heroes and villains, no pun intended. It combines that, but it also brings something new to the table. It really, like for instance, you can level up your gears, all that stuff. You can collect a big roster of characters. You can also train those characters too. I mean, you can for Marvel Puzzle Quest, but I mean, you know, it's very rare like these like puzzle games that to include such a unique system, right? So I will give this game that. But as for right now, well, we are in the quote-unquote beta, so like I can't judge it too harshly because again, it's beta. It's just the opening, right? I think for right now it's in an iffy spot because this game has a lot of potential. It has a lot of instances where things will not work. For instance, when you try to level up like really fast and the game will just be like, hey, you're doing too much, and then just crash on you, right? Or when you try to equip a certain like title on your profile, it won't even unlock. It just stays there, just does nothing, and you're like, huh, okay. And I know the most prevalent bug in this game is that sometimes the game just won't work. Like you're playing any match, it doesn't matter what match it is. It could be anything. You're doing your thing and it just stops working. Like you can't click, you can't get out, like you can't make no move, nothing. You can literally do nothing, and it hinders you from that, right? So you have to like swipe out and go back into the game again, but there's no solution around that. So I think that's one of the things that kind of like that's turning people off. But again, it's still the beta. They can fix that with future updates, so that's not something to really worry about. However, I do think something that's really hitting this game hard is it feels kind of dry. When you first start the game, like many other games, right? You do have this sense of freshness because it's something new, something bright. You know, we get into something that you're unfamiliar with. As every game, it's so common out there. But with this game in particular, it stays at the same pace, which is technically a good thing because you don't want to, you know, go on a pace that you can't handle. But it just, if something feels like it's lacking, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like everything is put together. Because, for instance, like the events, right? Once you do the events, it's pretty much gone. It's done, right? There's literally nothing else. Like right now, I'm looking. There's nothing else to do. There's literally nothing. I mean, sure, there's like the daily challenges kind of thing, but in terms of events, there's literally nothing. It's bland as ever. It's not pleasing to look at, really. So that's just one of the things that might turn you off. when you enter upon this game. However, again, they might change it. You know what I mean? So this, again, take it with a grain of salt. Another part, well, this is still touching on the last thing, but in terms of its dryness, like, of course, each game gets repetitive, right? That's inevitable. You can't stop repetitiveness in a game because that's just how games are. They're repetitive. But in terms of this game, it's literally the same thing over and over again. Like, I understand what kind of game this is, so I'm not mad at all. By the way, I'm just saying for what it is, right? It's just the missions, and then like your mini boss, more missions again, and then boss, right? And that's fine if that's how like the main story progression works. I'm okay with that, really. But it kind of seems like that's all they have to offer. Sure, there's a PvP mode, but it doesn't. The rewards aren't bad. The rewards are pretty good, but it doesn't feel all that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel all too fantastic. It just feels stale. At least in my opinion. I could be used to like so much other games that like I don't even know like what I'm talking about. So if I'm wrong, definitely let me know, because I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this game and whether you guys enjoy it or not, or do you think it's gonna last. But back to the main thing. I just think this game is kind of dry, at least right now. This is kind of a dry period. Maybe it's just the way the game is functioning right now. They have this dry period, then it starts to heat up later on. I know some games work like that, but that's just where this game is at right now. And you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being picky. You know, I think I might be reaching too far into it. Thing is, for me, I personally hope that this game lasts a good while. Because listen, I didn't think Marvel Puzzle Quest would last this long. It's been out for so long, and it's the most simplest game. But I think one of the reasons why it's lasted this long is because each year it literally adapts to that year, right? It literally, Marvel Puzzle Quest was able to branch off into whatever movie, or Marvel movie in particular, was relevant at the time. So they were really able to capitalize off said Marvel products, and they're still doing it to this day. So that's like one of the main reasons why they're able to stay relevant in terms of the puzzle community, right? But with this here with DC, they are starting from ground up. They have to build their building blocks again, because I'm not saying they have, like, sure, they have some DC movies in theaters. We all know the characters, right? But like, in terms of like maximizing off of their product, that's gonna be harder for them to do, because right now the DC universe, like literally the whole movie, like the movie corporation, is starting from scratch. So they have to really build from ground up. Sure, we know most of these characters in this game, right? We know that, if us comic lovers, we know who they are. But again, in terms of building hype like off of each other, like most games and movies do, this game's gonna struggle with that, I think, just for a little bit, until maybe when Blue Beetle comes out. I think maybe then they might see some promotion for that. You might see it, you might not. I honestly don't know. But in terms of that, man, yeah, that's it for that subject. I think I have such high hopes for this game, right? Because I really do enjoy it. I don't play it every day as I used to. Oh, not because I don't want to. It's just I'm kind of just busy doing other things. But I want to see it do well, right? But I just don't want it to make the same mistakes. I just don't want it to make the same mistakes as other games, right? For example, Injustice 2 game was so, well, in the beginning, it was fairly ahead of. Okay, no. Injustice 2 had a good-ish start. It was good for the most part, but then I don't know what happened. I think around like year 3, it just fell off. It just, I don't know if it's because maybe they wanted to put more work into the Mortal Kombat, mobile games. I mean, I understand it, because that's literally like, for in terms of like that market, Mortal Kombat's up there, and Injustice is slightly below it, right? So you can see why you can see where they put most of their work in. But it's like, the first Injustice mobile game, that game lasts. It's still available. It hasn't shut down or anything, but that game lasted so that literally people say to this day that game is ahead of its time. It literally is. Sure, they made a few mistakes, right? But overall, they handled that game with so much care. Like, you could tell, like, the devs put their heart into that game. Like, they really cared about it. I remember playing it all the way back then, bro. It was such a good time playing that. Like, I had no problems with it. Sure, some characters were iffy, but that's really on the characters. You know what I mean? That's it's hit or miss for them, right? But like, it was just good times playing that game. It Justice 2, it really tried to create its own, be in its own element, if you will, because of the console game. It tried to like combine console elements with mobile elements, which is technically a good thing, right? Because mobile games are evolving. We have to accept that. But I just don't know what the devs were thinking in the latter half. I don't know if they just I don't know, because for instance now there's no more arena characters. There's literally nothing. It's zero zilch. Not it's gone. I mean, like, characters are still there, yes, but like new characters, I mean, none of them are offered through arena. You can't get them anymore unless they're like the really like badish ones, you know, that you have to like take a while to level up. Those 2-star ones, you know which ones I'm talking about. But yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I drifted off of DC Heroes and Villains. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I want to see this game do well, so that's why I am making this video. But to wrap it up, again, I want to see this game do well. I hope it lasts a very, very long time. However, it does have a few issues that it needs to take care of before anything else, and that is why we are giving them the time to really make this. I know it's hard to wait, but like, let them do it. Like, they have this. Hopefully they have this settled. I believe in them. They have this, okay? They're going to be able to truly create a masterful game if we just give them the time. Hopefully I think they can do it. They know what they're doing. Let's just hope that they're doing it well. But I'm gonna wrap the video right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, I want to know what you guys truly think about this game. Whether you like it, whether you think it won't last as long, what you think the survivability rate will be, or just who your favorite character is. It doesn't really matter. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. It is always a pleasure, and I'll see you guys in the next video.